Hi, my name is Amy Lee Calloway, and I am a Grand Canyon University student, and this is my presentation on initiatives and referendums in Arizona. During this presentation, I will be defining what initiatives and referendums are, how they're created, comparing and contrasting the two, pros and cons, and how they support a direct democracy as outlined in the Arizona Constitution. What are initiatives and referendums? Initiatives allow Arizona and U.S. citizens to propose new laws or fix existing ones by drafting a proposal and a petition to gather enough signatures to have their proposed new law on the upcoming election ballot. Elected officials are not a part of this process. Referendums. Unlike initiatives, the referendum process is in the hands of legislators. They are the ones to propose new laws or address any changes that need to be made to the Constitution. Once the House of Representatives and Senate pass the proposed law, it is placed on the election ballot for Arizona citizens to either vote to reject it or pass it. How initiatives are created. First, a proposal must be prepared and written stating the proposed law and how it benefits Arizona citizens. Any registered voter can do this. The proposal can be handwritten, typed, professionally written, or written like we are talking to friends and family. The proposal can have punctuation errors and spelling mistakes. This process is entirely in the hands of Arizona citizens. Government officials will not review, spell check, or edit the proposals. The only limitation is that the proposal is a single subject, for example, the right to increase minimum wage for employees. If someone wants to propose more than one law, they are welcome to do so. A separate proposal has to be written, though. Out of all registered voters, 15% or 230,000 citizens from the last election must sign the petitions for the proposal to be placed on the ballot. Once all signatures are obtained, the petitions must be filed with the Arizona State Secretary's office 4 months before the next election. Arizona has the highest percentage of signatures needed for initiatives to be approved. California requires 8% of voter signatures, and Massachusetts only needs 3%. If 15% of voter signatures are not collected before the election starts, the process begins again with filing the proposal and gathering brand new signatures. The signatures gathered before will not be accepted with the new filing process. Between 1912 and 2008, 66 proposals were submitted, but only 27 were approved. For example, women having the right to vote in 1912 and marriage being between one man and one woman in 2008. How referendums are created. In initiatives, the people were responsible for writing up the proposals and were in charge of making changes. For referendums, elected state officials draft the proposals for adding new laws or changing the Constitution. Both the House of Representatives and the Senate must approve the proposals, with only 5% or 127,975 of registered voter signatures are needed. Between 1912 and 2008, the legislature placed 192 amendments on the ballot, but Arizona citizens only voted yes on 117. Only needing half of the votes makes it easier to change the Arizona Constitution rather than the U.S. Constitution, where a supreme majority of votes is required. Referendum petitions must be submitted to the Arizona Secretary of State's office within 90 days after the legislature session has adjourned for the season. The only time citizens can interfere in the lawmaking process and reject a bill the House of Representatives, Senate, and governors have already approved before citizens are allowed to vote on them is through popular referendums. Comparing and contrasting initiatives and referendums. Both an initiative and referendum are forms of direct democracy that allow U.S. and Arizona citizens to have their voice heard by taking part in the voting process. Initiatives start with the people as Arizona citizens. We write up proposals and pass around petitions to be signed so our law can be placed on the ballot and voted on. Referendums, though, start with the government. The House of Representatives and the Senate file all the proposals and petitions before allowing the people to vote yes or no. Initiatives and referendums are not only used in political and government issues. Initiatives can be used to vote on matters with school systems, gyms, and clubs. For example, passing around a petition to change the cost of gym memberships or voting on the budget for big name companies. Pros and cons of initiatives. Pros is allows the people to have all the power. We make the decisions regarding new laws or changing them without worrying about government officials overriding us. Allow those who might feel like they are being ignored to speak up and make their voice heard. We hold government officials accountable for their actions and ensure that important issues are not overlooked or ignored. Cons. Citizens lack the expertise to make official amendments and laws. We will want to pass amendments and laws that might sound appealing to us, but they might do more harm than good for our cities and state. Initiatives can be written with grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. This can lead to horrible drafted up laws that no one will understand. There is no cutoff point. Citizens can file as many proposals as they want. This can become overwhelming and lead to debates where nothing gets resolved or accomplished. Pros and cons of referendums. Pros. Government officials are taking the time to read through the drafted proposals. They double-check that the proposals sound professional and coincide with the Arizona's Constitution's viewpoint. It keeps the legislator in check, making sure that the laws that are unpopular and go against the people's wishes are not passed. Cons. Referendums do not allow citizens to be involved until the bill is already on the ballot. That can cause friction between citizens, communities, and cities. Not everyone will agree on the proposed bills and propositions. Arguments might arise between legislators, especially if they do not agree on the propositions they are trying to be placed on the ballot for citizens. Initiatives and referendums. Direct democracy in the Arizona Constitution. A direct democracy, according to Tony McLaurin in Understanding the Arizona Constitution, the word democracy comes from the Greek that translates into rule by the people. Direct democracies can be better known as pure democracies. A famous example of a direct democracy was the government of Athens. Direct or pure democracy is where all the laws and rules given by the government are determined by the citizens rather than the people elected into office. In a true direct democracy, there is no going through elected government officials. The people of the state or city are the people of the state or city are the ones to vote on the laws and bills that are passed. Initiatives support a direct democracy outlined in the Arizona Constitution by giving voters full power to make and change laws passed by the legislature. This allows Arizona citizens the right to make all the decisions. They do not have to worry about getting approval from elected or government officials. And referendums support a direct democracy outlined in the Arizona Constitution by giving voters the final say if the proposed proposition or law is passed or rejected. And these are the resources that I used. Thank you.